channel. My name is Kelsey Taylor. Thank you so much for watching today. Today we're going to be talking about picking my November TBR, and you're going to do it with me. And so I have this giant stack of books behind me. It's looking very pretty with the candles. And we're going to go through this pile and pick out books that we want to read for November, and I thought it would be fun to bring you guys along with me. November is a really fun month for me because the holidays is just around the corner. We are still unforgiving of October, and I'm sure you know about the book that I read for October, Bram Stoker's classic. Alright, so you can see that I have a lot of beautiful aesthetic candle situation going on here. I'm gonna try to see how I can do this the safest way without burning the house down. So I'm going to start up here in this pile. So this is V. Schwab, A Conjuring of Light. And I've heard quite a few things about this book, but I think I'm gonna say a no to this. Even though I've heard so many good things about it, but I just don't see myself reading anything fantasy. Next book we have is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I bought this one in 21 and I did not like it. I DNF'd it. I read probably about like in the middle. I stopped there. I also got it water damaged, as you can tell. I know I'm not going to read this one because this one, I just know I'm just like not into the fantasy mood right now. But this one, Truman Capote, I heard this was the book that inspired the famous film Breakfast at Tiffany. Right, so the next one is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I heard about this one quite a few times, but I don't think I'm going to read it. The next book is My Pen is a Wing of a Bird, No Fiction by Afghan Women. Now, I wanted to read this one for probably 2 years now, but I've never gotten around to it. I think this one's going to be interesting, so I'm going to put that in the yes pile. The next one, A Movable Feast by Ernest Hemingway. I've actually read this last year when I was in London at the British Library, so I already read that one. So this one, Anatomy, A Love Story by Donna Schwartz. I think that's how her name is. I think the cover is pretty cool. Next one is, Atomic Habits. This is non-fiction. It's self-help. I've heard so many good things about this book, so I think I'm going to read this one. I'm going to put this in the yes pile. Next one is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. Actually, I think I might read this one. It's in the fantasy genre, which, like I said before, I'm not really into, but I think I'm gonna give it a try just cause, I don't know. It has to do with vampires and the Bodleian Library. Like, those are two of one of my most favorite things, so this is going in the yes pile. Next one is Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. I think this cover is stunning. Nevermore, this is another fantasy book that I know I'm not going to read, so I'm just going to put that instantly in the no pile. This one, The Ex-Hex. I'm not into rom-coms at all. I think rom-coms are so cringe and so cheesy. I'm not really into just like reading romance books in general. Books I know I'm not going to read, I'm not even going to bother to go through them because I know I'm not going to read these. The Schwab series, I know I'm never going to get around to it, so instant no, I'm not going to read that. But I did read Lolita by Vladimir Nabokov back in the springtime. Oh my god, I wanted to read Hunting Prince Dracula by Carrie I don't know how to say that. Manis. This actually takes place in Romania. Like, this is Bran Castle. I went there last year. It was such a magical experience. But I didn't think I actually might read it. I'm gonna put this in the yes pile. And of course we have Carmilla. I got this one in Paris because you can see right there it says 15 euros. This was kind of expensive, to be honest. No Animal. This is actually a book I've actually wanted to read, but I've never got my hands on it. This is a different cover from what I'm used to. I'm used to the Waterstones edition. This one is kind of random, pink cover, but I do want to read this one, so let's go in the yes. I'm going to still go through the rest of the books here on the bottom, see if there's any... Oh my gosh! Pride and Prejudice. How can I not, like, read this book for November? This is an absolute must. Oh my gosh. Our Wives Under the Sea. This is a signed copy that I got from Julia Armfield. Et voila. And of course, Leo Tolstoy, Anna Karenina. I really want to read this one, but it is such a brick of a book. Do you see that? So I'm going to stack some of these books again. These are other books I got from Waterstones. This is the Chronicles of Narnia. I was going to read this book, Convenience Store Woman. I never got around to reading it, and I don't think I want to this month. The books that I'm saying no to, I'm going to put them back over here. Right, don't know what to do with this candle. The next book is A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm not into this series at all. I'm trying to figure out what to do with these candles. The next book is The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. I've heard so many good things about this, but I don't think I'm going to read it. Alright, I'm not gonna read that. Oh, Sweet Dark. This is an amazing poetry collection, one of my ultimate favorite. Next is A Christmas Carol. So this is going to be on my TBR for December. So a lot of these books that we're going through now are my ultimate favorites. So this one is Who is Dracula's Father? I bought this one at Waterstones. The great thing about that actor specifically, my favorite actor for Dracula will always be Bela Lugosi, of course, but I thought this one was pretty cool, and this is my bookmark. How funny is that? It's from my cathedral skater dress. But yeah, I definitely want to read this one. Next one is Victor Hugo's Notre Dame de Paris, and I bought this one at Scoob bookshops in London. I just love the aesthetic of it, and the picture is beautiful. Next one, Wuthering Heights. I meant to read this book last month as well, and of course I did not. The Haunting of Hill House. I actually bought this recently. This is by Shirley Jackson. This one was recommended by one of my favorite YouTube channels that I've been watching for a year now. Her name is Caroline Reads, and she recommended this book. Alexander Pushkin, Eugene Onegin, something like that. I love the cover. It's giving Phantom of the Opera vibes, and she said this book is just like William Shakespeare's poetry. It's funny because when I bought the book I didn't know it was a poetry book. Next one is, oh my gosh, I absolutely want to read this one. This one is by John Paul Polidori, The Vampire. How beautiful is this cover? Oh my god, I totally forgot about this book, but this is The Line Life of Adults by Elena Ferrante. I read her other book in the margins. It was really, really profound and beautiful, but I absolutely meant to read this last month, and I didn't. So this is another book that I wanted to read but didn't. I want to read this one so much. This is Dante, the Divine Comedy. This is secondhand book that I got from Scoob. I heard that this is the best edition of the Dante comedies because this is the closest translation to the original comedies that was originally written in Italian. And so I'm super excited to read the Divine Comedy. And what's really, really cool about this is that I touched the real manuscripts of this book from the 1500s because they have a book of it that you can look at in the British Library. It's so fantastic. I tried to read this during the spring, but obviously didn't finish it. Another book that I didn't finish. Alright, next book is Just Kids by Patti Smith. I think this one is actually matching my outfit quite well. Like, do you see that? Beautiful. So Just Kids by Patti Smith. This was a very, very popular read back. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna stay up like this and show you other books like this because my outfit is perfection. So I'm just gonna show you the books like this. So Just Kids by Patti Smith. This was a really, really highly recommended book last year. I saw this all over Instagram last year. And so I want to see what all the fuss is about. So of course I'm going to add that to my ongoing mountainous ginormous TBR for this month. And another thing that I like about this book is that Johnny Depp himself wrote his own praise in the back. I shall read it to you. Patti Smith has graced us with a poetic masterpiece, a rare and privileged invitation to unlatch a treasure chest never before breached. So I don't know much about Patti Smith, but is she a woman or a man? I don't know, the pictures kind of confuse me. But anyway, I'm going to be adding this to my TBR because I think this is going to be super fun. Alright, so I'm gonna go through these a little bit faster. I think this is gonna be such a fun book. This is How to Do Nothing, Resisting the Attention Economy by Johnny Odell. I really want to read this. I'm gonna put that into the yes pile. Oh my god, I want to read these books too. I have so many books that I want to read this month. This is insane. Right. Glossy, the inside story of Vogue. This picture is so beautiful, but I'm not gonna read it just cause. This is Betty by Tiffany McDaniel. I don't think I'm gonna read this one either. Picture of Dorian Gray. This is a very interesting cover. But I do love his hair. Do you see Oscar's hair? Like, iconic. You should take a shot for every time I say in this video just cause. Anyways, this is the Brothers Karamazov. Oh my gosh, his name is a mouthful. Vovodor Dostoevsky. There we go. Well done, Kelsey. This is Upstream by Mary Oliver. I absolutely want to read this so bad. I wanted to read this back in October, but didn't get around to it. I'm surprised that every book in this stack I've said yes to. Crazy. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about these books. This one I was reading on the airplane to Las Vegas back in September. It's The Diaries and the Creative Life, The Hidden Writer by Alexandra Johnson. Very interesting take on writers and the creative process, and I'm so interested in that topic and diving more into the secrets and the mastery of these writers. And so is this one. I'm going to add this one to my TBR too. This is Anne Radcliffe, The Mysteries of Udolpho. So aesthetic. Like, I'm actually having quite the collection now because see, I got 3. Look at that beauty. And oh, I love when it's brown. Don't you just love when the books are just brown like that? So this is a no pile and the yes pile's over here. Alright, so next we're going to go through this pile over here. Alright, so we have Anne of Avonlea. I can't speak for shit, apparently. I don't know how to say that. But the Anne of Green Gables series, I feel like, is very much spring vibes. Not really into that. Oh, this is the whole collection of the Anne of Green Gables series, but I know I'm not going to read it realistically. So that's a no. This one, On Earth We're Bravely Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. I don't think I'm going to read this, but I've heard it's a beautiful book. This one I've already read in the spring, Vile Bodies by Evelyn Waugh. The Dowry of Blood, I read this. Julius Caesar, I read this book back in the spring, and Send Nudes by Saba Sams, I read this already. But it's a short story collection about girlhood that I recommend, and it takes place in sunny central London. Oh, this is gonna be such a cute book. I wanted to read this one last year. I tried to find it in Waterstones, but they actually don't publish this book in the UK. The Inheritance Game, I'm not gonna read that. No interest. Someday Maybe by Colleen Hoover. Not really interested in that, to be honest. So Sad Today, I read this book last year or earlier. Yeah, last year. I did not like it. No. Dance of Thieves by Mary Pearson. Another fantasy that I'm not interested in. Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. That is a no. I don't like rom-coms. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Life's Too Short. I know I'm not going to read this one. Too boring. This is another one. Just Haven't Met You Yet by Sophie Cousins. I think this was recommended by Darlene Desi. I am not into rom-coms, so that's a no for me. So this book, Darlene Desi recommended this book last year, remember, and I wanted to buy it at Waterstones, but they didn't have it because they only print it in the US. This is by Abby Jimenez. This is a maybe. I might want to read this one, so this is going to be in the maybe pile. The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I'm not going to read that for now. I really want to someday. Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I hate Colleen Hoover. I think she is the worst author to mankind, so I'm not going to read her book. Baker's Magic by Diane Safler. I don't think I'm gonna read this one. It's really cute though, really nice story. I don't think I'm gonna read that as for now. Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I don't think I'm gonna read that one either. This is The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. Don't think I'm gonna read that. I'm not into fantasy like I said. Get Your Hopes Up. This is a non-fiction book by Joyce Meyer. She's amazing, but I'm not going to read that. Where the Crawdads Sing. This is by Delia Owens. I don't think I'm going to read this, so I'm going to move this candle and put it over here, like so. Okay, now we're going to go through this whole stack of books. Right, so we have Philip Pullman, his Dark Materials. I have no idea what this book is about. Alright, so the next book, House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. Right, so this is Babel by R.F. Kuang. I met R.F. Kuang last December. It was such a rewarding experience. I absolutely love her. Ooh, I remember this one. This one was very educational. This is Marriage, A History by Stephanie Coots. I got this one secondhand as well. That's why it looks a little bit beat up on the sides there. And you can see it says used. Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Oh my god. I got this one from Target. And I cannot believe I still haven't read it. I literally bought it back in April or... yeah, back in April or May, but it's so beautiful. Do you see the cover? It is giving Beauty and the Beast vibes in the back with this portrait. I'm not gonna read these books in the corner. The one is The Girls. I've already read that one, and this one is The Day of Holy Night by Samantha Shannon. I met Samantha Shannon last year at Waterstone. Oh my god, do you see all these books that I want to read for this month of November? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these again and be a lot more realistic on what I want to read for this month, because as you can tell, this is outrageous ambition. Okay, so we're gonna go through one book at a time. So this book, I definitely want to read this one. I bought it very, very recently. I think this is gonna be yes. So this is gonna be a yes for now. So this is the first one I'm going to say yes to. The next one, so I'm not gonna say yes to this one because I already read it before. So I'm just gonna put that one there. I'm just gonna put it just over here. I'm gonna make a separate pile for the books that I'm not going to read. This one, so I tried my first attempt to try to read Wuthering Heights in October and I failed miserably, so I don't think I'm gonna read, although I don't want to, I don't know. John Polidori, The Vampire, I definitely want to read this one, so I'm gonna put that in the yes. Oh my gosh, I definitely want to read this one. But since I'm choosing such profound books to read and they're quite massive, I feel like I want to have some more fun. I want to read something more lighthearted. So I think I'm going to choose The Ex-Hex, just because I am kind of in the mood for a rom-com, because I don't know if you guys are into it, but Taylor Swift and her new boyfriend Travis Kelce are dating, and it totally reminds me of like a book rom-com story. So I'm actually into that vibe at the moment. So I think The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling is going to be a really, really fun read. So this is going to be my light, happy read to get me out of those deep, profound books. I think this is going to be my final pick, the 5th book that I'm going to read for the month of November, The Line Life of Adults, because I'm writing a project right now and it has themes of girlhood in it, and I really want to take inspiration from this book because it really touches deep with that subject. So I think this is going to be my next read. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and you found a book that you want to potentially read for the month of November. I love you all so much. À bientôt, au revoir. I'll see you in the next video.